Donald O. McFarland, PC-3. I drew a station in Monterey, California. So I've joined the Navy thinking I'm going to leave or go overseas. I'm not out of the state of California yet. I'm not complaining, but that's what it was. So I wind up in Monterey, and I was there approximately a year, and they said, your orders came in. And I says, okay. So they said, you're going to go aboard the USS Topeka. I said, what's a Topeka? And you'll find out. I said, okay. Is this the real Navy? Absolutely. So the ship was in Long Beach, California, and I reported aboard well, let me back up. When I was on leave between, well, somewhere there was when Kennedy got shot. I reported aboard the USS Topeka December the 1st, 1963. Before you deploy from Long Beach, you go to Seal Beach, which is probably 10 miles down the road. We sat there we're tied up to the pier for 3 days. And that's all we did was load ammunition and missiles. We also had 120 Terrier missiles, which were a booster and a warhead. Oh my God, what are we going? So it got a little intense, because like I said, I was just a kid, and I'm going, what do we need all this stuff? I mean, tons and tons of ammunition. So it wasn't just for a cruise, just to go sightseeing. We knew where we were going. But they basically gave us what we needed to do what we had to do. Because, like I said, one ship would go back home, back to the States, and we would rotate in, and then we would stay there for 6 months, and we'd go back. So, I enjoyed it. It was a hell of a ship. You're talking about 1,000 people. But everybody had to work as a team. And basically, you learn that in boot camp. I don't care if you're taking a rope and tying it up or doing something, you work as a team to get the job done. That's what we did over there. But it was a hell of a ship. And I even told my wife, I said, you know, the first place I worked was on the deck force, which just means you swab on the deck. Yes, you do swab the deck. Yes, you do paint. Yes, you do that. That's what you do in the Navy. If we tell you they don't, they do. Okay? You're constantly cleaning and doing this and doing that or whatever. Which wasn't bad. And then somehow I wound up in the post office. I said, can you type? I said, oh yeah. So they want to transfer me in there to do the typing. Because I said, okay, well, we'll work this out. So I was basically pretty comfortable with that. But my duty, let me back up. General quarters station was second deck down, what they call damage control. They basically trained and trained and trained for hours what to do in case you took something through the side of the ship or whatever. The main thing was to, at all costs, keep the ship afloat and return fire. I'm going, okay. So like 18 years old, and you're saying, I got to keep this ship up. But you've got a crew that's going to help you. You're not doing it by yourself. And they basically trained us what to physically do to plug that hole. You can grab mattresses, pillows, tables, whatever you had at your disposal. Because there's going to be people saying, okay, what's our situation? What's going on down there? Can we still fight? Yes, keep going. And they close off. These are doors on the ship. They're called hatches. And they set conditions where they're watertight. If this particular part should take a hit and everybody gets killed, okay, but the ship can keep shooting. And then whatever they have to do, but this does not deter them from their duty, what they have to do, okay? So it is quite a big ship, and you learn what your duties are. If everybody does what they're supposed to, you'll be okay. And I made it home. And then by March of '64, we made our first deployment to Japan. We left with several destroyers with us, joined the 7th Fleet. Everything was basically okay. We started out in Yokosuka, Japan, and then slowly worked our way south. I think the farthest we wound up was like Singapore. Anyway, in August of '64 is when, of course, it's not a scuttlebutt, but the Turner Maddox and the Turner Joy destroyers were supposedly shot at or something with torpedo. We didn't know. It was something that We were in Yokosuka, Japan at this time. And everybody started panicking and said you had to get underway. This is a goddamn missile cruiser, 610 feet long. You just don't get underway overnight. It takes time. Everybody was panicking. Most of the time when you're on board, a third of your crew is on board. If you have to get underway, the other 2/3 are probably on liberty. The Sixth Fleet Admiral was across the pier in the USS Oklahoma City, number 5. He said, no, Topeka, stay here. Wait for further orders. So everything kind of calmed down until all of our crew came back. Okay, you got a full allotment of sailors, officers, whatever, you got 1,000 men, get underway. We basically, it took us, I'm thinking, 2 or 3 days to get there. I mean, this is like 31 knots. That's pretty fast for a cruiser. We didn't do any hostile fire of any kind that I know of. I think it was just like a show and see what's going on and then wait for orders. Finally, they rotated us back to the States. We went back to Long Beach in late '64. Then we started doing a process where, and I slept, my berthing area was under the fantail, which is the rear of the ship. And they had started to, above the main deck, rip out all the asbestos. And I said, what are you guys doing? And they said, you don't need to know. I said, well, this is where I live. Well, it's okay. And they didn't tell us what they were going to do. And there were I-beams that ran the length of the fantail. Why is that? You don't need to know. Okay. When the Navy wants you to know, they'll tell you. That's their motto. Yes, sir. So they doubled the I-beams. If we had 36, now we got 48 or 72, whatever it took. And I said, why do you need to do that? Anyway, we picked up a chopper from Marine Field, which is in San Diego. And they had their own crew. So we had to do a little bit of adjusting in the berthing area. So all the mechanics that had to do some of this helicopter were available. And I'm going, okay. Anyway, so then the next thing you know, I was getting ready to get out in January of '66. For some reason, there was a slack in turnover of recruits or people coming out of boot camp to fill people's positions that were people who were going to retire, like myself. Unfortunately, the Department of the Navy or the Secretary of the Navy decided to keep us. So he sent a letter to all active, whatever it was, ships, whatever, all active duty will be extended 5 months. So now, instead of being discharged in January '66, they said you're not going to get out till May. I, on the other hand, thought I was going to be transferred before the ship went. It didn't happen.